Chair of the full committee, Ms. Waters.
Thank you very much. Since Mr. Hill started talking about whether or not there's cooperation between the agencies, and Mr. Burt mentioned how it became difficult to get rental assistance out into the community. Let me ask you, do you believe that poor communities that do not have access to computers, do not have access to the technology that is oftentimes needed in order to make application for some of what we're sending to the cities or the counties or the states? And what do you think we can do about that if you believe that is true?
Well, I do think it is a challenge. I mean, that's come from my experience being on the ground with communities trying to access the rental assistance programs. You know, one of the things we want to do is partner with organizations and also raise advocacy efforts to get those technologies to these communities. And even more importantly, making sure that these programs are just simply accessible to the communities where they are. And so, just simply put, when we construct policies and construct these federal programs that we put in jurisdiction of the states, we want to make sure the states are doing what they need to do to make sure the most vulnerable communities have access to these critical funds in the post-COVID reality.
Thank you very much. Mr. George, how would housing and community development investments like the more than $150 billion my committee secured in the Build Back Better Act help alleviate persistent poverty in rural America? And what more can we do to ensure existing federal housing resources really reach poor rural communities?
Thank you. Thank you, Chairwoman Waters. I'd like to follow on Mr. Burke's comments candidly and say our number one strategy that we posed was organizational capacity. At the Housing Assistance Council, we work with local community-based organizations, nonprofit organizations, municipalities, tribal entities, and some for-profit developers. And candidly, they know what's best for their community. We just try to enhance their services and their ability to provide those services. But they're trusted actors in these communities, and I applaud the subcommittee for including many of these entities in this discussion. These are valuable partners that we work with every day, and they really know so I think our goal is to enhance those funds to enhance the capacity of those local community-based organizations. For example, the Housing Assistance Council uses vital resources from HUD's Rural Capacity Building Grant, and we've made valuable investments in many of these organizations because they know what's best.
The $150 billion that we work so hard for to get out to assist the housing needs of this country, everything from Section 8 vouchers to money to deal with the renovation and repair of public housing, on and on and on. How much would that have helped the poverty in some of the communities that you deal with?
Well, it'll obviously been immense help. It's almost incalculable, but obviously these communities need all the assistance and all the directed, targeted assistance that they can handle.
Well, we're going to continue to fight for housing despite the fact we did not get the support that was needed from the opposite side of the aisle. But on this issue of whether or not the resources we work so hard for, if we get them signed by the president, they go out to the communities, we still have poor communities who are not able to access these resources for lack of computers and technology. And I had to call in legal aid in Los Angeles and set up meetings and get people into boardrooms, et cetera, to try and help people who needed it so desperately. What are we going to do? Do we have enough nonprofits that can, basically utilize these resources and get them out to the poverty communities? Or do we need to set up some brick and mortar offices and locations with big signs on them so people can come and get some help for the utilization of the resource? What do you think? How are we going to do it? My time's running out. I know you got some
Oh,
answers.
I was about to say, I'll take it. Again, I think the point to be made is that we want to make sure that state leadership is doing all that they can to reach the communities that are most in need. I mean, when you talk about the challenges around broadband and technology, I mean, you know, money's already been deployed to get these communities the technology that they need. And so some of this is on nonprofits, but the brunt of the responsibility lies on the administrating authority over the fund. And so I would say we can continue to put pressure on our states to do right by the communities that need it with research, advocacy, and data. Then I think that may be one of the best ways forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.